Hey folks, it's me, it's Retro JO to the single E, bringing you this week's edition of Raw Power. And I want to say, I apologize for this coming out a bit late, having some internet issues with getting the shows. So that being said, let's go on and get on with it. So we have an opening promo from the VIP Lounge with MVP and Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. So this went just as well as everything else could go nowadays. Basically, Asuka and Baszler were sitting there being friends and nice. And I just want to point out that isn't Shayna's last name just make you want to throw up? It's like Shayna Baszler. Anyways, so obviously this broke down very quickly. Nia Jax comes out. Shayna and Asuka kick her out of the ring. It was beautiful because I don't like Nia. She's too stiff in the ring and she can't injure people and she doesn't care. So after that, we have this is going to be my WTF moment of the night. So we all know that Apollo Crews got injured last week. He tweaked his knee, so he is now not in the Money in the Bank match. So they have to fill that slot with someone. So this brings on match one, which is the last chance gauntlet match for the Money in the Bank position from Apollo Crews. This made zero freaking sense to me. This is a WTF moment. So who decides who's coming in when? So how it works in the gauntlet match is you have one guy start, and then he fights as many guys as they say until the last one standing is the winner and he gets the slot. But how are they doing this? There's no rankings in WWE, so how do you decide who gets what? You don't. That's right. You don't decide who gets the last slot. They just say at the end, oh, this is it, done. That was the last guy. Like on the spot. They don't tell you if it's 5 guys, 10 guys, 20 guys. This is just dumb. It didn't make no sense. So let's go quickly into it because there's a lot of people in this match. We started out with Bobby Lashley. So this is his big chance again. He tells Lana to stay in the back because he can do this by himself. He's a big boy. He's a big Bobby boy. First match is Bobby Lashley versus Titus O'Neil. Very quick, very fast. Bobby Lashley beats Titus and moves on. Right after this, Akira Tozawa comes out to fight Bobby. Another really fast match. It was like a minute or two. Boom, again. This was Black Goldberg Spear Fest because Bobby Lashley was just spearing everyone and even making Goldberg faces. It was pretty funny. He beats Shelton Benjamin in the second round here. The only thing to note was Shelton botched how you say that word? They say it in Japanese all the time, but enziguri, that's what it was, enziguri kick. He botched that. He did it. Bobby took it, but you can clearly see he didn't hit him at all, and Bobby, flies back and sells it. But anyways, he beats Shelton, moves on. Bobby's going in round 3. Round 3 was versus Humberto Carrillo. So Carrillo, yes. So anyways, this one was a little bit longer, and then something interesting happened. Bobby Lashley pushed the ref. The ref DQs Bobby, and Bobby's out, and Humberto moves on. Which, of course, makes him angry, and he beats up Humberto afterwards just because. Then we have Humberto versus Angel Garza. This was an okay one. This one looked pretty good. Humberto will take the win and move on. And who comes next? Obviously, the other goon guy from that squad, Austin Theory, comes out. You've got the manager down there, Selena Vega, and she's just yelling and screaming, "Come on, you can do it! Beat him, beat him!" Anyways, Austin Theory does not beat him and loses. And then, so Humberto's coming up. This next one is the final. They don't say it, but this is the final. Then you hear that music hit. What? Yes, that's right. AJ Styles of Phenomenal One returns to Raw in this episode. And does he win? Yes, he certainly does. Of course he did, because this is AJ's next big push. I love AJ Styles, is my favorite, but he's been kind of screwed over creatively, especially with the firings going on. So his other two OC guys are out of WWE. So yeah, maybe this is the next championship push. So he wins it. Really, this whole thing don't make no sense because it's set up weird. Anyways, we go into a promo after this. Styles basically telling everyone he's not a zombie. He's real. Yes, he got buried alive, and who cares if he lost because he's back and he's mad. So and he threatens he's going to throw somebody off that building for that Money in the Bank briefcase. Remember that for later. So now we're going into a machine gun version of promos because there's so many promos this episode. I have to go quick. So many. First promo was just the first of like 4 sections of top 10 Money in the Bank moments. No explanation necessary. That's just all it was. So they're showing clips. Next promo, we have Seth Rollins' interview with Charlie talking about the Murphy match later on in the evening, because that's the final, is Murphy versus Drew McIntyre because of what happened on last week on Raw. So Seth just basically says he has confidence. Standard stuff, nothing special. Then we go into another promo. This was another promo from like last 2 weeks. Brandon Fink and Shane Thorne with MVP. What's going on with these? These are like jobbers all of a sudden getting pushed. So that's all this is. MVP's trying to push these guys. And that's all it was. Then we have another promo with Murphy and Charlotte. Yes, thoughts about loyalty and him being a disciple of Seth Rollins. Standard loyalty talk, nothing special, just that's who I am, that's what I'm going to do. Now we go on to what we had that promo from before. We have Cedric Alexander and Ricochet versus Shane Thorne and Brandon Fink. I'm thinking they're trying to push these jobbers. I don't know why. They're not really that great, but to me, honestly, some people might disagree, but to me that would impress me enough to give that push for them. So yeah, because the reason I say this is they didn't win this match, and that's surprising because Cedric Alexander and Ricochet are a really, really good team. So I don't know. They just pretty much buried Cedric and Ricochet's momentum they've had. I don't know. It's just weird. Very, very weird. It was a good match, though. It was a good match. Next promo is just more of the best Money in the Bank moments. Nothing to say there. Match 3, we have, this was set up last week when they had the promos from the Viking Raiders and Street Profits. This is their match, Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders, because the Viking Raiders are getting a push now over the Street Profits. And that's exactly what happens. But to me, the match was like, it was pretty blah, very slow at moments. So that's because of the size of the Viking Raiders. Big guys aren't that quick. Sometimes really good guys can pull off some amazing stuff. But this one, I don't know. It was just a little bit slow. My takeaways really from it were on the Street Profits. Dawkins had this huge frog splash. It was like gigantic. I don't know how he jumped that high. He must have a little current in his blood. Anyways, Vikings will take this win via the Viking experience. Now we go on to the next bunch of promos here. We've got, oh my goodness, we have 5 promos out of 5. Yeah, that's right, 5. First promo is Drew McIntyre talking about Murphy. Just basically, I'm gonna win this. Next promo, more Money in the Bank moments. More Money in the Bank moments. One of our favorite pay-per-views through the year. Next promo is the Viking Raiders with Charlie afterwards talking about their win and how they're going to dominate the tag team division. And I can see it because they're good. They're a good team, but like I said, they're a little slow because of their size. But we'll see what happens. Then we get a promo from Aleister Black responding to AJ Styles. That's right, what I was talking about earlier, where AJ said if he has to throw somebody off the building to get that briefcase, he's going to do it. And that's basically, it's Aleister talking to him in his darkness, in his Aleister Blackness, just, you know, be careful AJ, be careful what you wish for type thing. So we're going to see Aleister Black throw AJ off the WWE headquarters? I don't know, maybe, it might happen. There have been leaks lately about someone taking stunt bumps from the building, so we'll see. But just remember, this thing's going to be filmed movie style, like we had the Firefly Funhouse match and the Boneyard match. I'm pretty sure this is going to be another one of those movie type things. Then we get a promo from Rey Mysterio talking about how he's going to win the Money in the Bank because he is closer to the end of his career than the beginning. So, I don't know. Rey's been, they've had him all through there, but it just seems like, I don't know, I love Rey Mysterio, but this whole weird mini push that he gets all the time, but never really gets, he's like running in place basically, it feels like all his sections and storylines for the last like a year and a half have been a running in place type push. I don't know. Then we get another promo talking with Charlotte Flair, the Queen, yes, the Queen, talking about Io Shirai's privileges blah blah blah. That's all she does is basically push herself like that all the time. Then we get Liv Morgan comes out, her music busts, and she's talking like this. Oh my God, Charlotte! Oh my goodness! Oh, you're just good there and up there because you have a silver spoon in your daddy's last name and all this. Yeah, that's basically what it sounded. And let's fight. Oh my God! And they do, and they fight. And Charlotte, being the queen, wins because she wins all the time, and she's Southern Belle, and that's what happens when your daddy's Ric Flair. Anyway, she wins by figure 8 submission. I'll probably never speak like that again, so y'all better record this. That was just my impersonation of Liv Morgan talking like a Valley girl. Yeah. It was a boring match, not so great. It makes Liv look a bit good, but it's a weird. It don't feel right. Something don't feel right about the push. Just doesn't jive with what I'm used to. I don't know. Then we move on. We have another promo. This is more top Money in the Bank moments. So yeah, that pretty much summed it up all the way from top 10 to 1. That was a little 120. So then we move on to the final section of the show. Match 5: Drew McIntyre versus Murphy with Seth Rollins. Weird. Seth Rollins just stands there in the middle of the ramp, just staring. Pretty awkward. It was actually a good match, a good way to close the show. Makes Murphy look real strong because he didn't get a Claymore in the first 2 seconds. Which is so weird because it still just brings me back to the whole idea that, you know, he beat Brock Lesnar for that title very quickly. But these other guys that aren't as big and aren't as strong as Brock are sometimes getting more match time than Brock did, which is very weird. I don't know. Maybe Brock's going to go make movies now. Who knows? Drew will win with a Claymore kick to the face like he does because he is Mr. Claymore County. After this, Drew screams, "Fight me, Seth," from the corner of the ring, throwing all his rage and emotion towards Seth Rollins. Seth leaves, and then he secretly comes back like 2 seconds later and super kicks Drew in the face. It was, I don't know, it was pretty cool. I like the sneakiness. I like Seth being sneaky. And then Drew, he gets up after this and goes for the Claymore. And Seth moves out the way and slides out the ring and slithers backstage. Yep, that's exactly what happened. It was a great closer to the show. Overall, the show was okay. It was okay. We're getting a lot of, like, if we had to grade these school grades like A through F, we've been getting a lot of C's, a couple of D's. I'm waiting for the big B's and the A's, but so far, with Empty Arena, it's hard to get really good shows. That's pretty much all for this week on Raw Power. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I love talking about this stuff. We'll try to get these episodes out quicker in the future. I'm trying to work on getting a new server so I can watch Raw faster. It's hard to do it from overseas, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, love you guys. Stay safe. Like and subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Power Podcast. And remember to keep it retro.